definitely that time of the day where we'll be bringing you the best trends, conversations, and all the gist on trending with our guests. My name is Kim Opera, and we'll be diving right into the show right after this short break. Welcome back. You're still watching Trending, brought to you by Airtel. Let me introduce this our special guest for this episode. I don't even know how to explain who he is. He's someone that doesn't fit into stereotypes. He is the leading man, the fashionable.
Kim, I know. I just want you to continue. I know, right? Oh, thank you.
Amongst the Gen Zs.
Oh, thank you.
This is Enioluwa. How are you doing?
I'm really well. Thank you so much. I'm really excited to be. This looks so good, by the way.
Thank
Let me tell
you.
Congratulations on everything.
I appreciate
it. Private jets and this. That girl.
Thank you so much. You look amazing. Where
Thank
did you get this jacket from? This jacket
this jacket
very detailed.
I know, right? It's like actually like it's. I was so confused. I'm like, guys, should I wear it like this? Should I just put? And then I'm like, okay, you know what? I'm just gonna put it by the side, so everybody will be like, oh my god, you have this jacket, so fine. And then,
nice.
thank you. I'm trying to keep up with you. You know, I'm trying to.
Thank God, keep up. We thank God. It's not easy. So, how has life been for you in this industry? Especially, when you start out young, it's always very hectic. Have you been able to cope with it?
Right. I mean, it's been pretty good. Like again, obviously there are so many young, also like talented people like Rema and Aaron Star, and I know like everybody just goes through the same thing. I think what you deal with more when you're young is that you deal more with maybe anxiety, or like you're worried, or you get bored easily or get tired. But I think it's been pretty good and pretty cool. Like just being able to inspire other young people to do amazing things, just keeps me going. And also I enjoy it. This is like
it's
work.
Very obvious that you
you enjoy it really. Sometimes you're just like, oh wow, this is nice. You get some opportunities that you're grateful for, and you just say, oh wow, this is something like I've always looked forward to.
Exactly.
Yeah, and that's nice really.
So for someone that doesn't fit into stereotypes, right? Starting from lip gloss boy to Mac to Crocs ambassador, like how has the journey been for you? Did you ever see yourself coming this far?
To be fair, I want to do those work things and say, oh my god, I didn't. Okay, but maybe I didn't see myself coming this far, to be fair, because again, like Nigeria is quite conservative to an extent. But then I think also at the end of the day, it's important for every person and every individual to work hard, because I think hard work always pays. And I don't want to like toot my own horn or be like, oh my god, like, but I think I work really hard. So I think at the end of the day, hard work would always put you in the right place, and say you sit before kings and not men. Right? Oh, I'm quoting the Bible. but really, you hard work just keeps you going and all of that. And so I think like at the end of the day, you do the work and then you pray and hope that okay, this comes to the right point. But it's been pretty good, having to like be the first this, you're just like you're on one and another email comes in and you're like,
I must be doing something right.
Yeah, you must be doing something right. You just have to keep putting in the work, honestly.
That's good.
Yeah, I don't like focus on anything any other person has to say. Yeah, just do your work. Yeah.
So, from Lip Gloss Boy, right? Yep. Most content that you were putting out was mostly, in as much as you were touching topics that mattered, it was more, I don't want to say like it was more comedic, but it was like a fresh of breath air, on the media. How did you transition your work from that to now being in a position where a Mac or Crocs,
true.
can now be like, oh, we need you on our portfolio?
I think one is that, oh my god, I feel like I'm going to be saying secrets. Okay, I'm just kidding. I like to just also like, obviously say thank you God, one. But also I think like a lot of work goes behind that people do not know about, or like, averagely, like I say, like a banker, this when I try to explain to people, a banker goes to work every day saying, oh, I have these numbers to it, or like, producer has to create a show. That's the same way like you as like a talent in the creative industry or like the entertainment space has to say, oh, I need to do this strategy to do this and do that. And so I think there's a lot of strategy involved in it. Obviously, you start from one point and then you grow, and I think that's what keeps you relevant in the industry. Just ensure that you're constantly growing, constantly trying new things, and you try another one and it works, and then you pitch yourself, because again, it's a business. As much as it looks like jokes and play on like social media, it's also like what keeps you like fed and like puts food on your table. So again, you constantly have to work towards it and say, okay, I have to improve, I have to get better at this, and do this work and this work. And I think like I obviously Mark is such a big deal. I really
Such
like
a big deal.
yes, I used to also create beauty content like earlier on,
Yes, you
and I
did.
still do. So it also just worked because I was with another beauty brand. I'm not sure I'm allowed to say that, like the name of the beauty brand, before Mark, and
Okay.
I was on a deal like
With them.
like a contract signed deal for, and I think Mark knew that and just said, okay, swerved, and I signed the contract with Mark, and like just took me out of that one. And
That's really
both great
nice.
brands, by the way, in case they are saying it.
That's really lovely.
Thank you.
That's
Thank
really
you.
nice. I was so happy for you.
Thank you, darling. Thank you. To be honest, you inspire me so much. Especially, there's this picture of you.
Which picture?
I think you were in a resort in Benin.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, you know the picture I'm talking about?
Yes, I know
Yeah,
the
beauty
picture.
queen. Yeah, that picture. That picture.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Okay, so let's talk about the conservativeness, right, of Nigeria. What's like the most irrational
Irrational
comments that you've gotten about your content that you put out or the content that you create?
To be honest, I know this will sound so cliche, but I do not care about comments. And I'm not even saying that in the most cliche, honest points that everybody's like, oh, I do not care about comments. I do not care about comments in the sense that, I spoke about it like being work. Like, if you're going to read comments, everybody already knows that, oh, you're not going to find the most favorable things. And so if I see that comment is not, I'm just going to swipe up from it and,
and keep it moving.
and keep it moving. But although I know that people always try to, say, feminine and all of that. And, I don't try to base my work on that. I think my work speaks more on the hard work that I put into it, and the things that I do, and just try to create good content or put out good stuff, legacy content as well. And that's what I focus on. I'm not really focusing on like what someone has to say about this. Like sometimes you have like 10,000 comments on your post, and then I'll go and be searching for the one who said no, really. I know that it's cliche to say, but really, like, it's work too. I'm not going to like fill myself with bad comments and then get down and start butchering about what a random individual somewhere has to say. No, I'm not going to do that. I'm good.
I think you're a UN advocate, right?
Yeah, with the European Union.
With the European
yes.
Union. How did that happen? I just remembered.
Yeah.
How did that actually happen, and how's that been?
I think that's one of the most exciting things for me. I think that's, to be fair, Kim, working in the European Union is something that you do for humanity now. You're doing it to like help other people and inspire other people, and it's a selfless thing to do. And so I really don't know how these things work behind the sets, because obviously you're not in the rooms where your name is being mentioned or where you're just open. But I know that you see a mail and it's from the European Union and you first think it's a joke and you're like, are you serious? I'm like, am I? And to be honest, this is also take time. It's not like when you announce it, it's like, oh, it just happened. Like, oh yes, there's been months of check in, check out. Oh, is it going to be real? Oh, this is what you're going to do. And even after the announcement video and all the process was short, like I think it still took like 3 weeks before everything is like, oh, now it's time to announce and all of that. But I think it's been one of the most exciting moments for me. One, you're working in the European Union, that's such a big deal. And
such a big deal.
Yeah, and
Congratulations.
thank you. I got stopped on the road on my way here. And they're like, oh, who are you? And I'm like, oh, my name is Eni and European Union. That's
tell them.
Yeah, that's like my
Tell
getaway, because nobody wants to stress you. They're like,
you, yes.
please, we don't want to do all that. But I think beyond all of that, fun moments and all that, it's just, being able to help humanity and, push what the European Union is trying to do in Africa as well, as relates to helping people, helping the African continent. And and, helping people grow, especially young people, because, they're working with young people as digital creation and just helping young people general achieve their dreams, and those who can't get access to education also know that that's not the end of the world, and you can still do so many things. Like you can walk up and be an artist, or one day become popular, be an influencer, and just like try to put your hands on crafts and do all that things. And I think it's such an exciting thing to be part of, and I'm really always grateful for it.
That's amazing.
Thanks, boo. Thank you.
That's really, really amazing. That's quite inspirational. How has it been for you navigating in the industry so far with all of this happening?
To be fair, I like to pay homage to people. I know a lot of people may say, oh, kissing ass and stuff. I don't care. I honestly think that a lot of people came before, and the world has moved a lot faster now. There's now digital media, and you could be in Nigeria and be popular in the US and get all of this recognition that a lot of people didn't have access to at that time. And so I know that a lot of these people paved the way for me, and like I respect people. Every time on interviews I talk about the legend, the one and only Derely, such an icon. Thank you so much, period. There are people, the Enioluwa Grace, the actors, the musicians, like everybody who paves the way for people like in this space and time, and I always give homage to them. The easiest thing navigating it too. I think that sometimes people forget that you're a human being. Yes, and just be like, oh, you're young. This one is not even the entertainment industry. So I went to VFS, the office for visa.
Yes.
Lord have mercy. I already knew, like every time I go there, someone just finds a way to annoy me, and I'm just like, every time I'm about to enter, I'm like, Lord have mercy today. And so I'm going in this time. So now if I'm going, I'd probably go with like a security personnel, because you don't want anybody to harass you and all of that. Because it's a long queue, there's so many people always there. Yes, I'm also trying to explain this so people don't come and put, so there's so many people there. And so I go in, and I forget my document with someone outside, because they will check your document for you when you go inside. And I forget my document with someone outside, and I'm just like, there's someone just comes to me and says, come, and I'm like, why? Like, you don't, like, you probably know me, because their selfie camera was on, so I thought probably they wanted to take a picture. And I don't mind you taking a picture as well, because I was trying to do my document with the security man, and I'm like, oh, like, why? Because again, this is Lagos. Like, why? Anybody, like, they can even carry you from. Yes, exactly. Like, I think people also just forget that. Yeah, that's what I'll say, like a human being. And he's like, come, man. I'm like, sorry, why? And then it tells the security man, stop working on his document. And that man stops working on my document. And I'm like, I hope you're watching this, And I'm like, why would you even do that? And it's like, oh, I said you should come and you did come. And I'm just like, you're only doing this to me also because you know me from like social media and stuff, and you're just like,
you can't really react.
Yes, exactly, and I can't do anything. I don't want to make a scene. I don't want to do anything, and then I'm just like, Lord. And so a friend comes in, and she obviously sees me by the side doing like this, like, because I was trying to calm, like, I'm like, any calm down, because I was like, why would anybody even do that to me? Like, why would you even just do that to someone else just because you know them, and then you forget that they're humans too? Because you won't walk up to an average person and just talk to them like that. And I'm like, I know it's not the easiest thing, but every day I just constantly growing and learning, and like, some things that you see now, you have done before and you can't do now because you've grown. And that's one thing I also like about life, that you keep growing and you keep learning and you keep evolving. And so, you take every day as a learning experience and saying, you know what, I made a mistake this time, I'm going to get better at it. I didn't do this well, the next time I'm doing it, I'm better at it. And, I say, I've made so many mistakes too. I've worked with brands too that may not be in the best relationships at the end of the day. You make mistakes. Maybe you didn't post at this time. Yes, exactly. And everybody's like, oh, you're not serious. And I'm like, no, I'm serious, because if I wasn't serious, I wouldn't be at this point. But also, is that I make mistakes and I learn from them and I get better. That's life. Especially young people should be allowed to make mistakes, because now, social media is so prevalent that everybody's like, oh, why are you not this already? Why are you not that already?
And it can be overwhelming.
Yes, it's very overwhelming. I saw a video of secondary school students going to prom, and the child was dressed a certain way, and people were like, please, what is that shirt? And people were like, have you guys forgotten this as secondary school students? Like, what are they supposed to be wearing? Versace or like Dior or what? Or like, so I think also because social media has become very prevalent, people need to give people the time to grow and become better, and like stop expecting
and
from
just live their truth.
And stop expecting like a 19-year-old to be living like a 40-year-old man, or like
and
allow them
living
make
true people too.
yes, allow them make mistakes and move on from it, really. And That's it.
That's it.
That's it. Period.
So there has been this war about the millennials and the Gen
Gen Z.
Zs. Because honestly speaking, I just heard about Gen Z like last year. I didn't even know there was a difference.
Fair.
So like this conversation about millennials and Gen Z, would you say that the type of influencing that is done between these two generations are very different?
Every time people ask me this question, I try to forget. Like I have a marketing degree, so I kind of studied like behavioral patterns of the people and stuff, and I try to forget it. But I think yes, it's a little bit different because there are a lot of things we don't care about that a lot of people care about.
Sure.
For example, before, you know, maybe these boots, people may be like, oh, why are you wearing this? This is not the way you should dress. An average person of my age group is like, I don't really care. Yes. I want to hear what you have to say. I'm not concerned about what the things you've done, what you excel in, than how you look, how you're dressed. Or at the end of the day, you want to look presentable. That's all. Like, you know, young people are more concerned about so many other things that millennials are not concerned about.
Sure.
And so I think obviously that would affect our influencing and the content we create. Really, yeah. But it's interesting because you're a millennial and I'm like Gen Z.
Oh my God, how do you know I'm a millennial? Who says I'm not a Gen Z? Why are you going to be spilling that tea on here?
Kim, the outfit is just like,
It's
Mr. Millennial.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, definitely.
I agree with you. So what is in store for Eni 2023? Can you give us like any hints?
Right now I'm doing like a Africa tour.
Yes, with Crocs.
Yes, brunch with Eni. Not everything is sponsored by Crocs, just in case. But Crocs is a major
supported. Yes.
Support. So you know, that's been ongoing, and that's a lot of work. Really, I'm not even going to lie. You know, on social media it looks very fun, and you know, traveling. But behind this,
I know it's a lot of work.
It's because you
traveling within Africa.
Yes. Lord have mercy.
I know.
But I enjoy it too, you know, meeting new people and experiencing new culture and all of that. It's a really enjoyable moment. You know, that's what I'm really focused on right now, and, you know, trying to get that done with. And, you know,
really
I've done Ghana and Togo, and I'm supposed to be in Botswana this month and Cameroon as well. So, yes. Right, so you're just trying to, you know, get that sorted and also, you know, move on with that. I think that's where I am at now. Also, you know, at the end of the day, I'm trying to just improve from my craft, from what I used to be in, and enter new territories, really. So.
Okay, so what brought about brunch with
Eni? Yes, so I did a brunch one time with 10 boys that, you know, act like me and whatever.
Yeah.
And so people were misquoting and just trying to like put it to a certain light, and I'm like, that's not what it is. We just like wanted to have network and, you know, meet people. And, you know, I liked when it happened, like I liked the idea of it, being able to like meet new people and meet people that you can talk to and, you know, share experiences with, because like life is easier when you know someone else who has dealt with it and they can tell you, oh, this is the way I dealt with it. So you don't, like, if it had to take you 10 steps to get there, you're just like two now because someone has told me, oh, just do this and this and that's it. And so like at the end of the day, social media also as well removes human interaction. Like you could be friends and you won't see each other for like months and, you know, just like, and everybody's moving on because they're like, oh, I'm at home and but I spoke to. Funny enough, you know, I saw Toby, my friend, recently, and we had not seen each other for a long time. And he's like, and he asks me and he says, oh, I've not seen you. And I'm like, oh no, but I saw you yesterday. But because we've been talking like every single day,
you don't even
and we're not
it.
I didn't realize that we've not seen each other for a very long time. And you know, sometimes I consciously have to even drop my phone and be like, or like interact with people and like talk to people, and that's also what I'm learning now, that human interaction is also very important. And so I think Brunch with Eni also like builds that gap, and, you know, just puts it together, and, you know, people can interact with people, network with people, and, you know, just have fun and, you know, take pictures and use them as memories, really.
That's really amazing.
Oh, thank you, Queen.
Should we be expecting anything? Are you going to be delving into acting at any point?
That's a very thoughtful question. I don't think it's my most enjoyable experience.
Okay.
So I do it like, oh, I know actors don't like when you say things like this, but it's a real job. Like acting is a job. Like you have to be good at your craft. You have to like take time to learn your script and rehearse and get better at it. And, you know, I think that also because as entertainment people, we're like potential. Like, I want to do
yeah.
everything. I want to try this. I want to try this. I want to try this. So if that's what, like, you know, a part of me wants to delve into as I grow, yes, I'll do it. But right now, it's just like, okay, class. Know that you have the talent in case you're called upon, but I'm not sure that's like really where I'm thinking of going into. Yeah.
What's also really interesting about you, Eni, I have to say, is that people always forget about that you're actually, I mean, I'll call you a geek any day, anytime.
Right.
Because I'm like, this nigga has a BSc,
Yeah.
Masters.
Right.
I haven't even done my Masters. Like, I was like, nah.
Take your time. Take your
I'm
time.
like, I don't even go to
I'm
school
not
again.
going
I'm
to
tired.
stress. Yeah. Yeah.
I'm like, I can't go to school no more.
Yeah.
But like, you've done all of that.
Yeah.
And you're still excelling in the entertainment industry.
Right. I like book because I'm doing my PhD.
You see.
Yeah, but
Well, what did I say?
But
He's a
also, yeah, school is. I'm grateful to God for that part. But school is not like my difficult point.
It's nothing. It's not difficulty. It's like okay, are you guys hearing it?
And, it's not
It's
like
nothing.
it doesn't stress me as much. So school is like, oh, you're just a brilliant kid. So you read your book and like.
He's just a brilliant kid, guys.
Fair, but that was good. That was good. Good one. At the end of this interview, just now, also show. But you know, like I read my book and I, learn from it. And like just quite good at schoolwork. So yeah, I was able to like graduate with a first class and do my masters at 21. So, bragging rights. That's like my major.
That's bragging
rights.
rights. Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for
Thank
the
you.
lovely advice, Enioluwa. And that's a wrap for today's episode of Trending, brought to you by Airtel. I hope you guys had a fun time. Did you? Because I did. My name is Kim Opera, and until we see you again next time, don't forget to keep it moving.